All right. This is not the video I wanted to be making right now, but I checked the mail before I left the house, and I ordered a bunch of other stuff on Amazon, and this was just easier for me to order there than go hunting for it around Los Angeles. Shoe goop. That's because I want to repair this Ugg boot, which has come apart here. And I did this exact repair to this one when I was in New Jersey several months ago. It's holding up fine. There's a little gap here. I'm going to cram some in. And we're going to talk about Ugg boots and my history with Ugg boots and how long I've had them and what I've learned from having them for so long. And I will say I was in the shower. I put these in the tub. And I poured water over them and cleaned them really well. Overdid it, really. And when you've got water just pouring on one of these things, it does not seep in easily. These things are actually pretty good in the water. But, as we all know, with the suede, it wants to stain. So we'll talk about that as I'm repairing this boot. And it's real simple. I mean, this stuff, you guys have probably seen this before. There's all kinds of things on the market. Some people have used contact cement, put it on both sides, but I don't want to separate this whole boot. I just want to do this real easy. And one of the things you'll see on this, it looks like they really only put glue around the perimeter, not too much in the center, and I'm going to duplicate that. I'm going to use these clips left over from my days in the film industry, and let's just do that as I'm talking. You remove this cap here, there's a little pointy thing inside the cap that you can use to puncture this, and now you can squeeze the goop out where you want to put it. Very simple. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. Should probably have a stick, a little piece of wood in here somewhere, which I will get to spread some of this. Unfortunately, this is a black one. The one I used when I was in Jersey was clear. So we'll see if that's going to pose a problem when it squeezes out for aesthetics. Got this song in my head. Do 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 do. Living in the USA. All right. These boots are made in China. I'm not a fan of Chinese-made products, as most of you may know. It's only the second pair of Uggs I've ever had in my life. I got my first pair in 1987. I got turned on to Ugg boots in the 1980s, like 1986. I was still in the Marines. I was a Security Forces Marine at Seal Beach. And the day I was unpacking my gear, I had just gotten there, and there was a guy that was friends with my new roommate who was watching me unpack my gear. And he says, "You're a surfer. I know you're a surfer. I could tell you're a surfer from your clothes." And he and I became friends, which actually turned out to be a mistake, because that guy, man, I got in a ton of trouble because of that guy. You know, I mean, the only time I've ever gotten in a lot of trouble in my life has been when I've hung out with people, dumb people, and doing dumb things. Yeah. So don't hang out with dumb people and don't do dumb things. I was hanging out with this guy, and this guy was an incredible surfer. He did things on a surfboard I didn't even know were possible. In the 80s, you didn't see a whole lot of it. At least I didn't. Even in the surfer magazines. Of course, I wasn't, looking at every surfer magazine out there. But he was able to surf, come off the lip, completely out of the water, on the board, land back on the wave, and keep surfing. I had never seen that with my own eyes before. But one day after surfing, we got out of the water, and his younger brother was there, and he was wearing Uggs. Wearing a pair of Uggs. I had never seen these things before. I was like, what the hell is that? Those things are goofy. He goes, hey, they look goofy, but try them on. I tried them on, and it pretty much blew my mind at how comfortable they were. I had to have a pair. So when I got back home, I was out, like in '87, and got back home, and a bunch of my friends were working in a local surf shop. And these things were not cheap even at that time. So I got a kind of a special deal from a friend of mine that worked there. we won't get into that. If you're from where I'm from, you probably know the story already. But that was it. And that pair of Ugg boots lasted me from 1986 until probably 3-4 years ago. And they got torn up at the top here. Here's the thing, though. Where I came from, even in the 80s, people were wearing Ugg boots even in the wintertime. So we knew how to take care of our gear. And as soon as you got a pair of Ugg boots, the prevailing wisdom was spray them down with Scotch Guard, waterproofing. And that's what I did. That's what we all did. You got them out of the box, you sprayed them down. And my old pair of Ugg boots I wore in the snow regularly back home. And they held up fine, and they didn't get overly stained or anything like that. From time to time, I'd brush them off. They were awesome. And I know my channel's all over the place. I know I'll do videos on everything from firearms and some physical fitness stuff and survival stuff to my Astro van, to the barefoot shoe movement. And these are pretty good if you're into the barefoot shoe movement. They're not perfect for the barefoot. I mean, they have a little bit of a higher section to the heel than the forefoot, but it's not that bad. It's a little bit, but that's it. There's no insole in here or anything. Your toes get to spread out. They're super comfortable, and it's a great camp boot. It's great when you're driving somewhere and it's cold out. It's great in the house, but you can walk and check your mail and even go out in these things. I know a lot of people don't like them. They goof on me. I'm some old guy wearing a boot, but this does come from the surfer culture, and that was just kind of where I came from. So to me, they're awesome. And I love them. And this pair here, now again, these are made in China. I posted a thing on my Facebook page maybe a week or so ago. There's a guy in Australia who's been making Uggs, Australian-made Ugg boots, for a long time. The Ugg Boot company, the name, I guess, was purchased by an American company. They're made in China, and there's a thing. They're suing this guy. So he's having a hard time. And I believe right now there's a great sale on the Australian Ugg boots. So if you want a pair of Ugg boots, I suggest you do that. Look up you're paying about $36 or so in shipping, but they're about close to 50% off right now. So you're still going to spend close to $200 to get them delivered, but they're the originals. So do yourself a favor with that. This pair I picked up used but never really worn. An old girlfriend of mine on Facebook said, hey, I'm looking to sell these things. I got them for my husband. He's never worn them or only worn them a few times. We had the same size foot. I got them. So it's actually a girl I went to my prom with, my high school senior prom with. And I love them. But I wasn't really taking great care of them, and they were getting a little dirty, so I cleaned them up in the tub last week, and I bought some stuff to spray them up. I want to seal them, and I was going through that whole process, and I thought, gee, it would be cool if there was an Ugg boot style boot that would hold up to weather. Maybe there's a waterproof version or something like that. And lo and behold, Ugg makes that product. This is called the Stoneman Boot. Real thick, full grain leather. These are listed as being waterproof. I haven't put them to the test yet. This is actual leather across here. It's not plastic or vinyl or anything. It's stitched down, and it's got that foam stuff. It does have a bit of a rise to the heel, but again, it's not super drastic. Your toes spread nicely in these things. They're super comfortable. There was only one insole. These came with a shearling insole. One was missing. When you look in the boot without the insole, there's a reflective tape in there, I guess, whatever you want to call it. It's like I guess that reflects your body, the heat temperature from your feet back up into you. Right now I just have a regular pair of flat, thin insoles in here, but I do intend to get some shearling insoles to replace them with. I wanted to talk about this briefly because I have this idea to upgrade these boots. I wore Danners for years. You know I'm into the barefoot shoe thing. I've been doing this thing with the Keds where I take the heel rise out of the insole on this. I love them. They're great. My toes spread in them. It's a cheap way to do the barefoot thing compared to what the prices are for a new barefoot shoe that doesn't look great to me. I'm not into the new look of things. I mean, these things look like they were worn by the Planet of the Apes. You know what I'm saying? It's just missing that thumb on the side there. But on my Danners for years, I would upgrade them. So I bring them to the shoe place, and I'd have them add a thicker foam layer and then a Vibram sole after that. And they'd last a lot longer that way, and they were more comfortable on the concrete floor. I've been thinking about these, and I'm thinking I might bring these to a shoe guy and have him kind of sand that down and make this not so high here, and then add a Vibram lug sole to this. I think that might be a really nifty upgrade to this boot and make it an even better outdoor weather boot. I wanted these because I am driving the truck around the country a lot, and I don't have a good quality pair of boots I could wear if it's snowing out. I got a pair of rubber boots, you know, Wellington style boots that go way back, that I would wear in heavy rain or mud and that sort of thing. But I do want to do more traveling where there's snow out, and I am into the barefoot shoe thing. It's kind of hard to find. I haven't found a pair of boots you just slide on that meets most of the criteria of the barefoot shoe movement. This does that. So if I do this upgrade to this, I think that that's going to be the way to go. Stay tuned on that. You'll see how it turns out. If I'm driving the van and I'm going up to Colorado or something, there's snow on the ground, I'd love to just have these on. Easy on, off. If you're getting out of your van, if you're sleeping in your van, it's a lot easier. Boom, just deal with it, and you don't worry about the laces or anything else. So I'm excited. I'll probably treat these with mink oil or something too, just to give it a little extra protection for the weatherproofing, waterproofing, and that's it. Back to the repair. You saw what I did. I just clamped this down. It's got a pretty nice squeeze out. I'll cut that free. I'll probably adjust the clamp tension on this from time to time. That's what I did when I did the repair in Jersey, just to try to get that evenly to spread out there. And could use one more clamp. I'm a little bit short. Now a mini one here. I have 4 more of the large clamps at home. I didn't bring them with me. I was like, I got plenty of clamps at the shop. There we go. So I'll let you know how this goes, but that's it. My next thing is to work on the van. That's the next video. Have a good day. Be good to one another. Bye.